welcome to this episode of Cooking with Carter. We're going to do some fried chicken today for you. It is in the wee morning. It's about 1:42, so it's early. What we're going to do is basically season some chicken in a bowl here. This is boneless, skinless chicken. I didn't trim it or anything like that. I left it as it was. You can get this at your local grocery at pretty much any time. I try to buy this in bulk because you can do so much with it. I'm just going to take some garlic salt and season the top. We have had a blast doing this. We've tried to record about 12 times actually.
This is about our 37th take.
It just
legitimately, I'm not saying that.
But
either.
I mean, it is so much fun to do this. I mean, it's great. Going to take some seasoned salt. Again, I'm not going to quite tighten some of my tops all the way. Going to take some complete seasoning. And I'm going to take some onion powder. A little goes a long way. Now I'm going to use just a little bit more than I normally would in this because I'm not using regular onions. You can saute onions. You can actually fillet the chicken breast, cook the onions, and put the onions inside and have just a brilliant flavor, but you have to be aware of how much you put in as far as that's concerned. Now, I am going to use, and this is a secret ingredient, I think. Cinnamon does an amazing thing. It brings almost every flavor that you put into a bowl or dish. It really brings it together. But I'm going to add this ingredient last. I'm not going to add it right now, because if I do that, it's going to bring just these flavors that I put on the chicken already together. Nutmeg will do the same thing. I'm going to use some cayenne pepper, and make sure when you get your spices that they have the small holes in them, because if not, you get too much cayenne pepper too fast, because it does have quite a bit of a kick.
There's a kick the camera.
I can tell you, I use this stuff in a lot, and it may look like a lot, but it's really not, because I'm gonna toss this, not over my head or anything, just in the bowl. Well, I almost did that completely wrong, and it would have went on there properly. The lids are interchangeable. You can use pretty much any lead that you want to.
Lid, he means not lead. Don't want to use lead-based paints, kids.
No, please, no. Lid, yes, that's L-I-D. Now, cumin to me doesn't have much of a kick, but I don't either. So that's kind of fun.
It's not even coming out.
Yeah, actually it is. If you look, it
wasn't the right thing because you got clumps in there. There you go. Now it's coming out.
It wants the world to know. Okay, there we go. Gotta let it show. Okay, that's from a song lyric, but anyway.
This isn't DJ's Music Mania.
Yeah, really.
Please like and subscribe.
Yeah. All right, now.
You didn't.
Now again, the nutmeg that I'm getting ready to use. This one is a strong spice. You have to be very careful with how much of this you use. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do not use a lot of that because it will overpower almost everything you do. I'm going to use just a little bit of black pepper. Now once I flip these around, I'm going to put them in the skillet, and I'm not going to season them again until they're in the skillet. Now I'm going to use some salt. Now Marshall actually brought up a good point off camera, and I think it was a question directed to be careful to see how much salt intake is in each seasoning. Most seasonings have 60 to 120 milligrams depending on the size of the container that you have, but the salts have different taste and different textures. So you got to be really careful with how much salt you're using. And you can see I'm not using a whole bunch. I'm just kind of letting it fall. And I put some on the bottom of the bowl so that when it turns, I try to lid the salt and it doesn't have one. Isn't that great? Also, you can put toothpicks in your salt to keep it from drying out. My grandmother has done that for as long as I've been born, actually. This, of course, is the cinnamon. Now, just notice, now I'll tell you, this cinnamon has a wonderful smell to it. And it really can bring out a lot of wonderful flavor and do a lot of wonderful things. And again, I'm not using a bunch of it. I'm just using a tiny bit. Going to set that over there. Now, what I do here, and this is tough, because, I'll tell you, this is where cooking is different, being in a chair. You really have to understand how much pressure it takes. I'm just going to move it just a little bit. When one gets too high, stop and push it back down. The other ones will follow suit because they will stick because of the juices that have fallen from them from draining them. And you can also change the direction of the bowl, and you see how all the spices pick up. So I really don't need to season them a second time. Look at that turn. Max, if you can zoom in on that.
Doing my best.
And hopefully my thumbs are not in the way. So, when we come back, I'm going to go ahead and show you the mixture of breadcrumbs, flour, and egg yolks that I use so that we can actually go ahead and bread these and get them fried. We'll be right back on Cooking with Carter. Alright, we are back on Cooking with Carter. I just want to show you a couple of these on camera, but what we've done, this is our flour and breadcrumb mixture right here. We mixed about 5 cups of flour and about 5 cups of breadcrumbs in the scoop form, not in an actual cup form. Enough to fill the container so that the chicken will sink down into it. What I've got here is 3 beaten eggs, extra large actually, jumbo size, and we went ahead and breaded quite a few of these off camera, but I wanted to save a couple and show you on camera actually how I'm going to do this. So what we've got is we're going to go ahead and drop this into an egg wash. Now, I'm going to take it from here so Max can actually film. I did a lot of these and Max helped some as well. I'm going to flip this over, and I normally will flip it over 2 or 3 times so that the egg literally sticks to the chicken, because you want it to have a nice thick coat. When that's done, you pick it up and hold it for a couple of seconds, let the excess egg yolk drip off, lay it in the flour and just press down and wiggle. Now what Max is doing, and what I've been doing as well, is just kind of dry coating this and letting the flour fall between my fingertips. Now the problem with that is flour sticks to egg, so your hands are going to get very, very, very floured in this situation. Okay. Now,
so if the camera shakes for any reason, it's because this hand isn't holding the tripod.
I'm going to flip this over.
So,
I'm going to
please forgive me.
Press down again. Now, the grill has, the skillet has long since preheated. Okay, and that is floured enough. So we're going to take the white bowl and drop that right on in there. I'll grab this last piece of chicken, go right into the egg wash, soak, 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 turn it over, soak, 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 and pick it up, drop it in, wiggle, 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 press down. This is a messy job, folks. Don't be afraid to get dirty. And you just want to try to get a nice even coat. And if you notice that your hands pick up some of the flour, just pick it up Flour's going to look a little crumbly after all this because you've got stuff on your hands. And once you get a nice even coat in there, pick it up.
Let the access fall.
Just like that.
Let me do it one more time. There we go. Just a little bit right.
And a lot of them, you have to kind of reflour them because the flour literally absorbs into the chicken. Okay. Take this last piece and drop it in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slide the grill around that has been preheating for, quite a while.
Since before we started recording this segment.
Okay. Gonna go ahead and take off the lid.
Sorry, moving things around.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's not hot at all.
Okay, now I'm gonna have Max do this because he's behind the camera and he's not gonna be he's gonna be able to wash his hands a little bit easier than me. But we're gonna start dropping these in. When you drop them in, pick them up and drop them in very easily. You don't want to let them fall in. You let them drop in. And you can see where they're actually supposed to go and how they go. And I use maybe about 2.5 cups of oil, just enough to coat the chicken, not much more. You don't want to use much more than that. I use canola oil most of the time. That is what I cook with. And you push them right up against the edge. And you can see now that we've floured them, most of the time the flour does not come off onto his hands because he has wet them beforehand. He dried them afterwards so it cannot connect. And now we're gonna, what he just asked me, I don't know if you picked that up or not, or the camera picked that up, can we go alongside here? I would go with 2. We should be able to get 2 in there. You don't want to go with much more than that because you want to make sure not to overcrowd. Again, very softly, very easily, let them drop in. You could get 3 in, but I'm not going to do that. It's very tight. Actually, 2 is all you really can get because these are very big chicken breasts. So that's in. Now, the way to do this, we've preheated the skillet to 350 degrees with canola oil. Let the red light stop blinking before you drop the chicken in. You can either lid this and let them stand on each side for about 8.5 minutes. I'm going to cook mine a little bit more done, so I'm going to do them for 10 minutes on each side and then take them out and they will be golden brown. You can set a timer, or better than that, Mr. DJ has a stopwatch, so what I do, I go into my mode, hit my stopwatch button, and that's all I need to do. You can also set it on the microwave, which Marshall's able to do as well. Set the timer for 10 minutes and that will be good to go. When we come back, I'm going to show you these, and I'm going to flip them and show you that golden brown color and what these things look like. So we'll be back in just a short bit. Thanks for tuning in so far to Cooking with Carter. See you in a bit. Alright, we're back on Cooking with Carter, and I wanted to show you guys, I have not flipped these yet, and you can see the brownish tinge, excuse me, actually starting to pick up on the outer side of this. But what you see is still the coating of flour, so you can tell that I have not flipped these. Now the way I do this is actually quite simple. And I find the more that I cook, the better that it gets. And I'm looking at about 50 seconds to go ahead and flip these, so I'm going to go ahead and start now. I come underneath and use the other chicken to push that over and slide. Look at that golden brown texture right there. I'll do it here, the same thing with this one. Slide it over. Let the fork take it down. Okay. Come over here with this one. It gets on top of there. Take it, push it over. Do it with this one. Come underneath. Now this one's a little bit harder because it doesn't want to slide. So I go in and down. Okay, same thing on the other side. Come underneath. Use the other piece of chicken to help. Is that not pretty? Ooh.
It looks pretty on my end.
I tell you what. And that, you can tell that that's done properly and it's evenly coated because it's brown from one end to the other. So, we're going to go ahead, and that hits the 10:26 mark right there. Go ahead and reset. Run for about another 10 minutes, or cook for about another 10 minutes, because I can tell you I won't be running. If I do, I make it 2 steps and fall over, and someone calls the rescue squad. Thank you for your support. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and come back. When we come back, I'm going to go ahead and take these out, and then we'll show you what one. We'll show you what one looks like on a plate. So we thank you again, and we'll be back after this word from me. Maybe not. All right, we're back on Cooking with Carter. Now I want to show you this. I want to flip these one more time just to give you the comparison. This is the side that we flipped originally. I have not flipped them yet. I just hit 9 minutes and 11 seconds. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and start flipping these. I'm going to start from the outside.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that pretty piece of meat.
Same exact beautiful brown color all the way through. Do it the same way. There we go. Nice lightly golden. I mean, it's not dark. It is just beautiful. Coming over, using the other piece of chicken to help. Remember when I said I leave the fat on there? That's the congealed, it gets congealed into the chicken, and the flavor of that is going to be phenomenal. I'm going to flip these last 2 pieces. Come on, coordination. Keep working, baby. All right. Almost 4 in the morning. Coordination. There we go. I'm going to let these sit here for about 15 seconds. I'm going to take them out right on camera. Now, one of the things you want to do is, I've got another batch to cook, so I'm going to let this run for just a second. And I'm not going to turn the grill off, but we got to back up out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to pick these up. Right through the middle. Stab all the way down. These are heavy. Hold it sideways. Let it drip. Come in over the bowl. Weight of the chicken. Right there. Okay? Come in, middle, down, side, drip, hold, bowl, and pull. Middle, down, side, drip, bowl, pull to the side, let it drop. Middle, side, hold, let it drip, bowl, pull, thank you, Max. Big mamma jamma, middle. Woo! Yes, sir. Bring the bowl down. Bowl. Now, finally, last one. There it is. That's the end. We'll be right back, and I'll show you what this looks like on a plate, okay? Thanks a lot, and we'll see you again on Cooking with Carter. And welcome back on this late episode of Cooking with Carter. As you can see, it's 3:27 in the a.m., which is early. But I just want to show you guys one quick thing. I have a real quick tip for cutting this chicken. Now, I've got the other couple pieces in the skillet frying, and since you see these, I just want to show you how to tell if these are done. Go right down the center. And really what you want to look for is a nice soft white. And I'm gonna actually turn this around so you can see. That's the soft white that I'm talking about right there. And the smoke that comes out from in between is how you know. There's no pink at all. You could have just a little bit of pink and be okay. But I want to show you a quick saucing tip for this, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over here and I'm going to leave it. I'm going to just take my honey mustard sauce, shake it up a little bit, as funny as that may have been. Now I'm going to go right along the plate here. I'm going to make it into a generous portion. And actually, I am going to take my fork, and I learned to do this just by experimenting. I'm going to turn my plate around so you can see. Take your fork, press down, slide, slide, slide. Now you can come up here and you can do the same thing. And what you've got, you can do it from either direction. It works better with a spoon, but basically what this does, if you do it lightly, it can give you texture all around, and just for presentation on how it looks, it's just one even coat. But I want to go ahead and cut a piece of this and try it out. Just so you can see. And we'll do a sauce show coming up here, show you some different sauces and dressings and things of that nature. Oh yeah, that is soft. Wow. Again, that seasoning doesn't overpower. And that's why I seasoned it once and flipped them in the bowl and didn't re-season again, because I used enough seasoning the first time. So that will be it for this episode of Cooking with Carter. Tomorrow we're going to do breakfast. If you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it, we will see you later.